Well, hello there. How are you guys doing today? I hope that you're doing good. So today I've got a tutorial for you guys on doing interior design. I got asked to do this on my video where I did the exterior stuff, like making all your framings and whatnot. So I figured I'll just go through doing some interior with you guys as well. So there's a few things I'm just going to use over there. That's the original one I did. This is the it's already got snow on it, but this is the a copy of that house over there that we made in the last one. So I've just been editing or started editing this video, and as you guys can see, there's this black box in the corner, and I actually recorded this a few days ago, and then I just procrastinated like a lot, so I didn't see this until recently, so I don't actually have enough time before tomorrow to re-record it. I did get rid of the chat box because this is what I use in live streams, but I didn't want to I didn't want to miss tomorrow's video day, and I don't want to just upload anything, so I'm gonna quickly just finish editing this. I hope you guys just forgive the little oversight there in the corner. I hope it doesn't distract you too much, but it won't be in any of the next videos, so I apologize about that. And the only difference is that I've taken away, there was a little bit of, like this was blocked off here, and I've taken that away from this part, and I've left it over here because I think this will make a nice little kitchen nook area that is not supposed to be there. So this will make like a nice kitchen nook area, or like some place for tool racks or something, you know, like maybe a little bit of a storage. And then this will be a bit of a bigger room, and then we've got place up here. Okay, maybe this will be the storage. So that's what I'm doing first, is I'm coming up with what do I want each room to be for, and then I'll base everything else off of that. Now, if you watched the last video, you'll see I did a little bit of framing. You get your frames up. You need to make sure that you've got the shapes that you need. For example, I got this big shape, and then I've got this protrusion, and that's my framing. That over there, that there, and this over here. So I've done my framing, but now I can also do that on the inside, which is what I'm going to be doing first. So I need to just get myself whoops, I'm gonna get myself one of these redwood logs, and I'm going to I can either put it up here along the very top, and obviously try not to let your framing mess with the outside of the build too much. That was not your Discord notification, that was my one. So now I've got a little beam over there. If I really want to, I can, you know, just mess with this a little bit, maybe have it come out a little bit over there, and that looks like it might be a little bit better. So you've got your inside framing and whatnot done, and obviously we've got chiseling, which is what I've done here. Now, ordinarily you'd have to have, like, if you want, say I've got this is my outside wall, and I've got this wall going along here. Then if I want a different color on the inside, normally like people would do something like this, and you'd have to have a too thick wall, and then you'd have this as the inside and this is the outside. But with the power of chiseling, we do not have to do that. In fact, what we can do here, and I'm gonna have to, yeah, this will take a while. If I go to the 8 by 8 by 8 size on the chisel, and I'm gonna leave it by the door because I want to keep a little door frame. If I go here and I click F, I've changed this to chert sand. And the reason why I've changed it to chert sand is the next thing I'm going to talk to you guys about, which is color theory. Now, there's a little bit of color theory when it comes to interior design in the real world. Actually, there's quite a lot of it. And that is the main thing that I could find was the 60-30-10 rule, and this is very helpful. So you've got what 60% of your build's color is. In this case, it is the gray from the granite cobblestone, and then 30%, which would be this orange from the bauxite stairs, and then 10%, which is at this point the redwood logs, are right over here, the brown from that. Obviously, it's not an exact number. It's just a more or less. So let's go and put that into practice. So that means that for me, I want to switch it for the inside. I want to just make it this one color over here, which isn't the prettiest. It's not the prettiest, but I figured it's close enough to the color of brown that I can have this on the inside. If you're doing a lot of chiseling, I recommend downloading a mod called the workbench mod, which it lets you duplicate your chiseled items so that you can make more of them very easily without having to worry about something like doing every little bit of everything. So you can make one block and then you can just duplicate that block so long as you have the materials for it. It's very well balanced. So you don't have to worry about it being not vanilla friendly, because it really is very vanilla friendly. All right, so now we've got the walls for the most part on the inside done. I want to still keep, I want to keep this the same color over here if I can. I might swap it out for this shirt color, but I don't want it. You'll notice the sound. I don't like using the sand as floor because it makes a little bit of a sandy noise. I prefer it sounding like there's something solid rather than if I run out here. The sand sound is just it's not for me. So now you can use different types of your different blocks in this as well. So you can add whatever type you want. If you want something more flat, you can go with the rocks for flooring. You can use the sands if you want, or you can use any block you want. Look, I'm not limiting you to anything. This is for you to be creative with, but what you use will affect like the overall feel of your build. So let's go with one of each of these and I'll show you what I mean. So if I start putting this in the floor here, if we have a look at this room, you can see aside from all the particles on the floor that make it just look dirty, you can see that the overall feel of this, it's quite nice. It feels like it's makes this little space feel a little bit prettier, I guess. Now the wall color, I'm admitting that it's not the shirt sand isn't the nicest. I could have gone with a better brown, like I could have gone with actual wood on the inside, which would have looked a lot better, but now I don't quite feel like changing that. And then if you go with a different color, for example, if I go with these stone bricks, or rather not a different color, but this is just a different texture. So now if I go in here, you can see that the feel has changed just slightly. This feels a little bit more, I suppose, older. It feels less like it's as refined. Like it gives you a different feel to the room. And I think the bricks are just a little bit too big for it to work in this small space. And then we have just the normal bauxite stone. And you can see the feel is quite different again. This actually feels less refined, a little bit more, I suppose, almost dirty. It feels like it hasn't quite been sanded down, or it hasn't been cleaned up. It looks like it could be it's not swept up over here. That's just kind of the feel that material gives. So overall, I feel like the polished rock gives the best look out of the ones that I've got chosen today. Obviously, this isn't the only options. You guys can go with whatever. I'm just giving you some ideas. So this is why I always recommend checking out and trying making these things in creative mode, just so that you don't have to go through the trouble of collecting a bunch of resources that you may never use. Because if you have a ton of resources in survival mode and then you don't use them, what's the point of having gathered them? You've wasted some time on it. So that's some basic theory there. Now obviously at this point, because we can still see the orange roof, this is no longer a 10%. This is a little bit more like the 60% for the inside, and then the walls would be the 30%, and the cobblestone over here, that is the 10%. And like I said, it doesn't have to be exact, and maybe you like the other way around. Maybe you'd prefer having brown as the floor and orange as the walls, or maybe you'd even prefer something else entirely. You could have had other colors. So I recommend just trying this out on a similar kind of build, just something small that you can experiment with. But the overall feel, so if you come on the outside, this feels a little bit colder, doesn't feel the most it's not the best house ever. This is an example house. And then I need to ignore that. So if we walk inside here, it gives you a much warmer feeling on the inside now, whereas the outside's a little bit colder because of what most of it's made out of. The moment that you go inside, unless you come inside here, it's just a warm, welcoming place. You could add a fireplace in here and all the good stuff, and you could chisel these doorways to look a little bit better. Okay, now we have to add furniture. We have to add that. So furniture is fairly easy to make, all right? You don't even have to make it if you really don't want to. You don't have to chisel anything. It can be as simple as if I just get some stairs, and then let's say I get a trapdoor. Like your chairs can literally be as simple as doing this. This can be your chair. If you really want, now that's uneven. There we go. So now, if you really want it to be, this can be your chair. Like, this is definitely, I suppose, sittable. You can definitely sit on this, and it still counts. This still counts as a chair, okay? But then you'll have something else a little bit more complex, and that will be like the furniture I've added in my modern house over there, which I'm going to show you just in a moment. I do want to finish up in here though. So I'm going to add, rather for the inside over here, I'm actually thinking that I'm going to add the bauxite cobblestone for this area, just to make sure that it feels like it's a little bit separated from this room over here. So now we've got two different rooms, and we could decorate this however we want. All right, on to my examples. So I've prepared actual examples beforehand. So if I come in here, so you've got this, my modern house completed. I didn't actually complete it properly in the last one. You can see I've added things inside, I've added doorways, and I've chiseled it a bit. So this is a little bit of an example of something that you can do. So if we open that and we come inside, the feel of this space is now completely different. All right. So if I come in here, we've got the some lanterns over the place. We've got some nice custom furniture here that I have chiseled out, and I'm not sitting in the right. So now you can see I've got this custom furniture, and it's looking pretty good, I think. And then I've also got over here, I've put in a carpet there and a little bit of a doormat. I've got this custom chiseled little lamp thing over here that I made. And then we've got shelves everywhere. We've got things just put down, some nice decorations, and it's very open because of the theme of my build. This is a modern build, and so I wanted it to be more open, and have a little bit more space for us to just like look around in. And I think that, you know, it's delivered on that. We've got another couch over here, which is just a copy and paste of the parts from this one with slight modifications. Got a couple of shelving over there. We've got a big TV type thing that I've made over here. And also, none of what is in this video is modded. I've made sure that I don't use mods for this, except for this zoom mod. This one and a shader mod are the only ones that I've got currently. Don't know why I have the shader mod, because I can't actually run it. And we come upstairs, and then we've got a little work area also done with the color. So see if you can guess upstairs. What is the 60-30-10 rule for upstairs? Put that down in the comments section, because I want to see how much you guys have learned from this. This is a completely different feel, right? So if we look at this and then we compare it to the interior on this build. So this is my first build that I ever did on this specific creative world, which I haven't had this one for long. And then if I come inside and I get out of the door, you can see that, I mean, like, obviously I've got the tool racks here. I've got a little bit of storage. This is meant to be semi-practical. You can see that I've gone ahead and I've chiseled the wall to be angled over there, because it added a little bit more space, and it makes your eyes flow towards this side here, where you can get into the main bedroom, which has a lamp here. This feels a little bit it feels just a little bit cramped, but it's still practical. And then there's around here, we've got the shelving, we've got a painting over there, we've got some chests and a vase or a storage vessel, and then we've got the bed, and we've done a little bit of chiseling on the walls just to make some extra space inside here, because it's a very small space. And then if we come over here down this side to the part where it's not supposed to make your eyes flow this way, because this side is specifically storage only. We have this tower over here with all of our barrels and our baskets and our chests. And then you can take this ladder if you want to go up a little bit, and you can get on here pretty easily, and it's not too difficult to jump across. And then we have the upstairs as well. And this is all in a fairly cramped space, and it's amazing what space you can get just from chiseling. And then we've got this sofa that I've made completely out of wood. And remember, you can combine maybe I can do a video on furniture or something if you guys like. That is supposed to be fixed. Hang on, give me a second for that. Why is... Oh, these leaves must have gotten in here when I put the trees down. But over here you can see that I've got another vase. I've got another a stool over here, or a sofa. I've got a little bench in this corner over here, and then I've got these stairs that come up over here. Now this is an older build, so some of the stuff isn't it's not the greatest, but I think I did a fairly good job over here with my color palette as well. See if you could figure out if I did the 60-30-10 rule in this room. And then we've got obviously the vase over there, and it's a very simple build because it was my first build, and it uses some sort of expensive materials. Points to take away from this is the 60-30-10 color rule. Make sure that you've got 60% one color, 30% of your build another color, 10% of it another color. You can do this for both the exterior and for the interior. As far as framing inside, it's the same as the outside for the most part. There isn't really any specific tips I can give you besides that, other than try not to let it mess with the outside of your build too much. Add furniture, decor, and custom stuff to your build just to make it more personal and make it feel like somebody is living there, or it's being used for the specific purpose that you had in mind for it. And keep it based on your theme. If you have a fantasy theme, like this fantasy cottage type thing I've got here, make sure that it fits that theme. Whereas if you've got a more modern theme and it needs to fit in over here with this open space, and it needs to have modern conveniences such as televisions, then make sure that you add those things to the inside, and make sure that you have fun, that you enjoy it. If you guys want any other videos specifically, do go and let me know in the comments, because I will read absolutely every single one of the comments, and I will respond to all of them as well. So if you have an idea, anything you want to know, even if you don't think I know it yet, I will do some hectic research on it and make sure that I can teach it to you guys before I will do a video on it.